Welcome back to the deep dive, where we take the sources you share, strip them down, and find the knowledge you need. Today, we're doing something a little different. We're moving away from geopolitics and diving straight into pure, concentrated emotional chemistry.
That's right. Our source material today is just raw lyrical content. It's a transcript from the Arden Jones song Blurry,
Hmm.
and we're not, analyzing the music. We're really treating these fragments like a short, intense poem that maps out this incredibly complicated psychological dynamic.
Yeah, and our mission here is to get past a simple interpretation and really understand the push and pull of this relationship. It feels like a place where connection and like the complete loss of identity are happening at the same time.
It does. It reads like someone just wrote down every overwhelming thought they had in the heat of the moment. It's not just a love song. It's more a portrait of uh, total obsession, total absorption.
And we're going to track that extreme swing from the
Mhm.
moments they feel illuminated and powerful to the moments they feel their entire sense of self just dissolving.
And what's so fascinating is that the source establishes that conflict almost immediately. It suggests this paradox isn't some surprise twist. It's the very foundation of the relationship.
Okay, let's get into it. Our first theme, the paradox of self and dissolution. When you look at the subject of these lyrics, what stands out first is just the sheer magnetic quality of her presence, the
Yeah.
power she has.
Right. And it's a power that doesn't come from any external status. It's all about this radical, um, uncompromised authenticity.
It's a self-contained.
It's totally self-contained, which makes it, terrifyingly effective. We have that key line. She was so herself, you never forget the way she felt. That is just pure, undeniable presence. It's not about being perfect. It's about a unique energy signature you just can't shake.
So if she is so herself, then the power dynamic is already skewed, right?
Uh,
When I read that, my mind immediately goes to the cost. What's the cost of being near that kind of raw authenticity?
The lyrics tell us that her authenticity is actually destructive. It acts like a gravitational field that just collapses the speaker's independence. Her presence is so potent that the cost is a literal melting away of the speaker's identity.
And it's not a gentle fading, is it? It's a disintegration that's being watched.
Yeah, exactly. We see that destructive language right after her magnetism is described as she get to watch your melt away.
Mm.
And the consequence is direct and absolute. You made it forget who you are.
Wait, watch your melt away. That sounds, it sounds almost predatory, or at least highly narcissistic.
Yeah.
How do we square that with the love implied elsewhere?
Well, I think that's the blurry part the title refers to. In this specific context, the toxicity and the love are like completely inseparable. The
Yeah.
speaker is drawn to her raw truth,
Mhm.
even if that truth is what's consuming them.
And she just watches it happen.
She watches, which implies a degree of, observation or maybe even acceptance of the side effects of being with her. And crucially, the source makes a point of framing her outside of conventional status. The speaker explicitly says she was anything but a superstar.
That's a huge detail. This isn't some celebrity obsession. The power is drawn entirely from a deeply private psychological source. That makes the conflict much more universal, right?
Absolutely. It means the intensity is sourced entirely from their individual connection. It's a private world where the magnetic forces are just wildly strong, and one person's authenticity somehow requires the other's sacrifice. That's the paradox.
You lose yourself to gain access to the truest version of someone else.
Exactly.
Wow, that's heavy. But here's where it gets really interesting, because despite all that dissolution, the relationship is also described with images of intense light and illumination. So how do we bridge that gap?
We bridge it by moving into our second section, elimination and the beauty of vulnerability. The lyric suggests that the power of this connection literally pulls them out of the mundane and into, well, a realm of light. It's like the destruction is paradoxically clarifying.
It definitely feels cosmic. The lyrics go straight into celestial imagery. We have that really striking quote, "You're showing the clouds, the stars are part and shine."
It suggests the relationship literally clarifies the world around them. It's bigger than both of them, and it makes everything feel brighter, more defined. And that light is a shared energy. It's not just her radiating, it's a mutual exchange.
Right, there's that sense of a recognized, shared intensity. I feel it when I'm lighting you up. I know you feel it.
Mm.
So even as the speaker is melting away.
They're simultaneously getting this massive influx of energy from the exchange. They're being destroyed as an independent person, but maybe reborn as part of this duo.
And this illumination, it seems to extend even to pain itself. Look at how vulnerability is treated. The speaker describes watching her distress, saying they are following the pain come down your face, so wow.
That word wow is so jarring. It's not the normal response to seeing someone you care about suffer, is it? It doesn't imply pity or horror. It suggests that the raw, visible display of emotion, the pain, is actually compelling, captivating even.
It's like finding beauty in wreckage.
Precisely. In this all-consuming bond, vulnerability isn't a weakness. It's like the peak of true intimacy. When the mask is completely off and the pain is visible, that spectacle is so intense it gets an appreciative, maybe even celebratory wow.
Which makes sense. If authenticity is the highest currency in this relationship, then unfiltered pain is the ultimate expression of truth.
And that leads to this profound desire for permanence. The experience is so raw and intense, the speaker wants to just freeze it, risks and all.
Yeah, that closing thought on this idea is one of total acceptance. The way you taste your everything, I never want to change. It's a declaration that the current intensity, this chemical reaction, is worth preserving no matter the cost.
So if this intensity is worth the cost of self-loss, and it provides such profound illumination, why does it need to be so private? It seems like they're defining themselves not just with each other, but actively against something external.
That's a perfect transition to our final point, the rebellion against conformity and total integration. The lyrics show this bond doesn't just exist outside the norm, it actively opposes it.
The external pressure is represented by this really powerful metaphor, the picture frame. The card glass, this picture frame where everyone had to be the same. It frames the outside world as static, rigid, demanding sameness.
A prison of expectation, a perfect, fragile glass structure. And the subject didn't just stumble into this rebellion, they actively chose it.
They absolutely did. The lyrics say she came to play the card glass, which implies a choice to break or challenge that structure. She sees the framework of conformity and deliberately shatters it, which makes their relationship an inherently rebellious act.
So that external threat, that conformity, it forces their relationship inward. Because they're isolated together, defining themselves against the world, the language of their connection shifts from just admiration to, well, total integration.
It becomes essential, physical. It moves beyond the heart and mind into the speaker's fundamental biology. The connection is inescapable.
You really see that in the language. I got you in my everything, which is already huge, right? It covers thoughts, feelings, plans, but then it escalates to an even more visceral declaration. I got you in my blood.
And that is a powerful escalation.
Yeah.
To have someone in your blood is to define your biological existence through them. It's not just love anymore. It's saying, you are a required component of my bodily function. If you are removed, I cease to be.
The merging is complete. It's gone from psychological to physiological.
Exactly. And that total integration means her presence isn't dependent on circumstance anymore. It dominates the speaker's inner world no matter what. We get that summary line. I always feel it when I'm running you, when I think about us. The relationship isn't a thought you retrieve. It's a constant visceral reality, an inescapable state of being.
So we've completed our deep dive into these lyrics. We've analyzed a relationship defined by this unique personal magnetism, a paradoxical loss of self, followed by this unexpected illumination. And all of it is wrapped in a rebellious intensity that rejects conformity. It really is a beautiful, consuming blur.
And that blur is the key takeaway, I think. We started with the subject being so herself, but that directly resulted in the speaker being made to forget who you are. This is the central conflict the lyrics hand to you, the listener, to sort out.
If a connection is so powerful that it makes you feel completely illuminated and alive, shining the clouds, but it also forces you to sacrifice your own independent identity, which reality is the greater one.
Yeah, is the profound, captivating feeling you gain worth the loss of the independent self you have to forfeit? Is the deep connection you get through this blur a sustainable source of light? Or is it just a beautiful but ultimately consuming fire that's destined to burn out the self? That's the question this little poem leaves hanging in the air.